right, good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Standing Committee on the Economy. I'll be chairing Colleen Young this evening, tonight's meeting, and we have with us members Jens Peterson, the Deputy Chair, and we have members David Buckingham, and sitting in for Lyle Stewart, we have Randy Weeks. So thank you all for being here this evening. We will now move to consideration of estimates and supplementary estimates for the Ministry of Agriculture. Vote 01, Agricultural Central Management and Services, subvote AG01. We have Minister Merritt here with us this evening and his officials, and I would ask that all officials please state their names for the record before speaking at the microphone. And as you know, Minister, if you do have to confer with any officials outside of the room, room 4 next door is available for you to do that otherwise. So, but just please state your names and your positions when you go to the mic. All right, Minister Merritt, if you would like to begin with any opening remarks you have this evening.
It's flashing here. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'm pleased to discuss the Ministry of Agriculture's 2020 and 2021 estimates. And before I get started, I obviously have some officials that I'd like to introduce here today. Amanda Plummer, my Chief of Staff, is in the room. Sitting alongside me is Rick Burton, the Deputy Minister. Sean Jakes, the President and CEO of Saskatchewan Crop Insurance, is in the room. Michelle Arscott, Executive Director of Corporate Services Branch, is here. Wally Hahn, Executive Director of Lands Branch, is here as well. Brad Schultz, Vice President of Finance, Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation, is here. Jeff Morrow, the Vice President of Operations, Saskatchewan Crop Insurance, is also here. Warren Ames, Executive Director, Ag Stability, Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation. And Penny McCall, Assistant Deputy Minister of Regulatory, is here. Paul Johnson, ADM of Policy. Lee Otten, Assistant Deputy Minister of Programs. And Jeff Wilson is the Provincial Apiarist. I think I've tried to pronounce that as well as I could. I don't know if I got it right, but I'm close. So obviously agriculture is vital to the Saskatchewan economy and the Saskatchewan way of life. These past few months have been a challenging time for many of us. Saskatchewan producers and the entire agriculture supply chain have demonstrated tremendous resilience through this time period. Agriculture and food production is a key industry, and producers and agribusiness continue to produce safe, high-quality food. Throughout COVID-19, our government has continued to engage with industry groups and government partners to ensure supply chains continue to operate. The temporary closure of meat processing plants in Alberta and shifts in consumer demand created significant challenges for the Saskatchewan livestock producers. We work closely with the industry to determine the appropriate measures needed in response to this challenge. Myself, along with my ministry team, held regular conference calls with crop and livestock sector groups, and we connect individually with a number of our value-added processors in the province on a very frequent basis. The federal, provincial, territorial agriculture ministers, deputy and assistant deputy ministers have also been holding regular calls throughout this period. To address the challenges facing livestock producers, this budget includes $10 million announced in May to help livestock producers manage the impacts of COVID-19 related to market disruptions. This support includes $5 million for Saskatchewan's 40% share of the costs associated with participation in the National Agri-Recovery Set-Aside Program. It also includes $5 million to partially offset higher premium costs under the Western Livestock Price Insurance Program. Agriculture is a major employer in our province and a significant contributor to our GDP, with enormous potential moving forward. This is why agriculture features prominently in the Saskatchewan Growth Plan. There are bold targets for agriculture in the plan that give us a clear direction for the future of the industry here in the province of Saskatchewan. One of the goals is to increase crop production to 45 million metric tons by 2030. While 2019 was a difficult growing season, Stats Canada's latest survey puts crop production at an estimated 37.4 million metric tons. The 2019 crop was the second largest on record and represents an increase of over 4% from 2018. Further growth in crop production will come through increased research, the development of new crop technologies, and increased adoption of the latest technologies. The growth plan also focuses on developing new technologies farm management practices, and innovations to increase primary production in livestock. We know that growth can be achieved by increasing the size of our cattle herd, but also through improving backgrounding and feeding opportunities here in the province of Saskatchewan. Growth in the hog industry will also be an important part of reaching our growth plan goals. In order to achieve this, there will be a continued focus on livestock research and development and technology transfer, including through the Livestock and Forage Centre of Excellence. The growth plan highlights the continued work on disease surveillance and traceability to ensure a quick response in the event of animal disease outbreak. The value-added sector is also very important to achieving the province's growth plan. The plan's goal to double value-added revenue to $10 billion is ambitious, but it is achievable. The growth plan includes multiple strategies and targets that provide direction on how to reach this goal, including continued support for research and development, double the meat processing and animal feed value-added revenue to more than $1 billion, crush 75% of Saskatchewan's canola here in the province of Saskatchewan, and process 50% of Saskatchewan's pulse crops here in the province. As we produce more, we will look to export more as well. Saskatchewan's agriculture exports are a significant contributor to the province's economy, with $12.9 billion in agri-food exports in 2019. To meet our goal of $20 billion in annual agri-food exports by 2030, we will continue to focus on increasing market access for Saskatchewan products. To support this work, our government has undertaken trade missions to important export destinations. In the past year, I visited Mexico, India, the United Arab Emirates, and Bangladesh to advocate for Saskatchewan agri-food products. These destinations are priority markets for Saskatchewan, and they represent some of our largest trading partners. Exports are built on strong personal relationships, and we need to foster our trade relationships in order to achieve our international export goals. Trade missions give our province the opportunity to advocate for a transparent, predictable, and rules-based international trading system. Each of our recent missions helped position Saskatchewan as a reliable, trusted, and quality supplier of food, feed, and ingredients. To help continue to position agriculture for success, there is a strong support for producers and agribusiness in the 2020-21 budget. The overall $363.9 million agriculture budget is a slight decrease from 2019-20. The decrease is due in part to lower business risk management expenses projected for the 2020-21 year. This is largely due to a decrease in crop insurance premiums and projected agri-stability costs. It is important to note that the business risk management spending is governed by the federal-provincial agreements, and the amount that we spend in any one year is impacted by commodity prices and program participation. The initial budget numbers for agri-stability are based on forecasts from the federal government. As a government, we are committed to helping producers manage risks through a suite of effective business risk management programs.